I'm back with you today to discuss 7 critical and detrimental habits we often engage in at night that you absolutely must eliminate. Let's dive right into the first one. This habit is probably familiar to most people: consuming refined carbohydrates and junk food, specifically sugar, right before going to bed. I'm referring to foods like bread, pasta, cereals, crackers, and biscuits, as well as any other form of pure sugar. Introducing these substances disrupts your natural sleep cycles in a significant way. The key issue here is the main nocturnal hormone, growth hormone, which naturally spikes while you sleep. This crucial hormone is severely suppressed or blunted by the resulting increase in blood sugar. Growth hormone is your body's primary mechanism for burning fat, repairing tissues, especially protein structures, assisting in muscle mass gain, and managing overall physical repair. If you introduce glucose, you effectively halt its function. This is especially vital information if weight loss is your goal, as a grueling workout earlier in the day can be entirely nullified by that simple intake of sugar just before rest. Furthermore, consuming sugar causes a blood sugar spike followed by a crash. Since you're typically fasting throughout the night, this pre-bed snack creates a destabilizing blood sugar roller coaster. Considering sleep's function is essentially to help the body detoxify and undergo a necessary cleansing period, this sugar-induced chaos can completely undermine the process. You might find yourself waking up multiple times, commonly around 2 or 3 a.m., which inevitably destroys restorative sleep. Even in the morning, many experience what's called the dawn phenomenon, a surge in blood sugar caused by the liver generating excess sugar. The most immediate problem the next day is a complete lack of energy, often leaving you feeling groggy and irritable. Poor sleep inherently triggers blood sugar problems, meaning you'll naturally gravitate towards snacking and searching for sweet things, thus setting yourself up for a cyclical pattern of deviation from your healthy program and making carbohydrate avoidance extremely difficult. Bright screens or any light, particularly blue light, within a 2 hour window before your intended bedtime. It is essential to recognize the role of melatonin, the hormone that naturally pressures your system towards sleep. Exposure to light, especially the blue spectrum, actively suppresses melatonin production. Melatonin's importance extends beyond just initiating sleep. It's an exceptionally powerful antioxidant, arguably even more significant than glutathione when it comes to detoxification and assisting in DNA repair. Light intensity is measured using a unit called lux, which essentially quantifies brightness. Shockingly, a minimal amount of light, only 8 lux, is enough to suppress melatonin. Considering the average smartphone emits about 30 lux, you are drastically inhibiting this vital hormone simply by looking at your phone. This interference makes it take much longer to enter true restful sleep cycles, preventing you from receiving the full benefits of hormone restoration, physical repair, and DNA maintenance. Moreover, this blue light actively hinders both deep delta wave sleep and REM sleep. The negative impact is so severe that regular shift work is now classified as a probable carcinogen due to its effects on the immune system. Next, let's talk about dangerous habit number 2: using, particularly regarding breast, prostate, and colon health. Intriguingly, attempting to sleep with even moderate light exposure essentially mimics the physiological state of metabolic syndrome because of how the light disrupts your sleep quality. My strongest recommendation is to dim your lights approximately 1 hour before you plan to go to sleep. While blue light blocking glasses can offer some help, the best approach is completely avoiding computer screens and other bright lights, keeping your environment as dim as possible. Moving on to number 3, relying on alcohol to initiate sleep. Alcohol provides a deceptive sensation of sleepiness, but you are not actually achieving restorative rest. Your body does not shift into a repair, rejuvenation, or detoxification state. Instead, its priority becomes metabolizing and detoxifying the alcohol, which is the root cause of the next morning's hangovers. The major drawback here is that you completely miss the necessary cleansing and repair that sleep should provide. Alcohol simultaneously acts as a stressor, elevating cortisol and adrenaline levels in the body. It also depletes essential electrolytes and, critically, severely drains your vitamin B1 reserves. This B1 deficiency is often responsible for the anxiety, nervous tension, and inability to relax you feel the following day, as B1 is vital for maintaining a calm, restful state for the brain and nerves. Instead of alcohol, I recommend a couple of alternatives. Try sipping a mix of magnesium glycinate in warm water before bed. The magnesium relaxes muscles and lowers cortisol, and the glycinate component boosts calming GABA in the brain, significantly helping with sleep. Alternatively, kombucha tea might be helpful, as its texture mimics that of beer, though its alcohol content is negligibly small. Just make sure to eliminate nighttime alcohol consumption entirely. Now, for habit number 4, late night consumption of junk food, with a specific focus on seed oils found in fried items, chips, or even salty popcorn. Many people crave salt right before bed and reach for snacks like salty crackers or chips. However, if you are consuming foods fried in these highly inflammatory seed oils, your gallbladder will struggle immensely. You'll go to sleep feeling bloated, and your digestive system will essentially send wake up signals to your brain, making restful sleep impossible. Trying to sleep while bloated and full of seed oils guarantees a non restful night. These oils irritate your gallbladder and bile ducts, leading to nausea, burping, and discomfort before sleep. I speak from personal experience on this one, having relied on fried foods extensively in the past. When you ingest a high amount of oxidative seed oils, you also effectively counteract melatonin's action, reducing its capacity to detoxify and repair your brain and body. If you are experiencing salt cravings, a small amount of simple sea salt placed in your mouth can help without the need for accompanying carbohydrates like chips. The best preventative measure is to slightly increase the salt content of your dinner earlier in the evening to eliminate the nighttime craving. Interestingly, low sodium levels can, by themselves, raise cortisol and overwork the liver. If the liver is busy processing salt and oils, it can't effectively assist with the body's general detoxification. The next time you indulge in seed oils in the evening, simply note how stiff, achy, or generally inflamed you feel upon waking. That inflammation is a direct result of these highly inflammatory oils. Habit number 5 involves taking sedating antihistamines or prescription sleeping pills before bed. I must preface this by stating I am not advising against prescribed medication, but offering my insight. You will very rarely wake up feeling genuinely rested because you are inducing a fake sleep, not the natural restorative kind. This artificially sedated state often results in waking up feeling dull, tired, and groggy. Research indicates that side effects can include reduced focus, impaired concentration, and memory issues the following day. Furthermore, your body quickly builds a tolerance, requiring you to increase the dose. One pill turns into two, then three, which escalates the risk of side effects. I recall a time I was desperate for sleep and took an over the counter remedy. I didn't sleep and instead felt completely dull and exhausted, a mistake I will never repeat. The sixth dangerous habit is sleeping directly next to your cell phone. This includes keeping it under your pillow or very close to your head. Both the phone and its charging cable emit electromagnetic fields, EMFs, a form of negative energy that can disrupt your brain function and ability to cycle properly through sleep stages. These EMFs are also known to significantly blunt melatonin, directly inhibiting your capacity to become tired and achieve deep restorative sleep. Given the extensive research on phones near the ear or in pockets, having the device next to your head while you sleep is certainly not advisable. The best course of action is to activate airplane mode or ensure the phone is kept a distance away from your body, especially while it is recharging. Finally, we arrive at the seventh habit: sleep deprivation itself, or simply not getting a sufficient amount of sleep. I myself am guilty of this, having pushed my limits and prioritized work, mistakenly thinking that less sleep would equal more productivity and put me ahead. That practice ultimately led to my physical body suffering the consequences of years of chronic sleep shortage. Trying to function on 5, 6, or even 6.5 hours of sleep is fundamentally inadequate. The ideal target is well over 7 hours, specifically between 7.5 and 8 hours. I suggest aiming for a bedtime between 10 tolar and 10:45 p.m., with 11 p.m. being the absolute latest. Once you start pushing your bedtime closer to midnight, you significantly miss the vital window of your natural circadian rhythm, which can lead to increased wakefulness, requiring you to wait a period of time before you feel tired again as your body's cycle is reset. The physical consequences are severe. Less than 6 hours of sleep results in a shocking 70% drop in killer T cells. This immunological suppression is precisely why insufficient sleep increases the risk of both cancer and viral infections, and why nighttime shift workers show a spike in cancer risk. Furthermore, the body fails to properly purify toxins, dramatically increasing the risk of conditions like dementia. We also see a significant spike in the risk of developing diabetes. One study showed that just 6 consecutive days of sleeping only 4 to 5 hours was enough to induce insulin resistance in previously healthy individuals or to push those already with insulin resistance into a pre diabetic state. Sleep duration profoundly impacts blood sugar regulation. For many men, particularly as they age and experience testosterone loss and erectile dysfunction, optimizing sleep should be the very first step toward recovery and repair. In essence, by denying yourself adequate sleep, you are systematically switching off your body's essential survival genes. Now that you are aware of these 7 hazardous habits, I've prepared a subsequent video that provides you with all the necessary information to achieve the most incredible restorative sleep you've ever had, allowing you to wake up feeling truly refreshed. You can check out that video right here.